stressful situations. So let's listen. Hello and thank you. It's a great honor to be here today in front of you. Hello, dear students. Hello, guests, and hello, teachers. It's a great step in front that we're starting to talk about mental health more openly. It's a great thing. So maybe in 2 words about myself. I work in the Ventspils. I work in Ventspils Hospital as a psychologist, and also I'm learning about neuropsychology, which is a new way of thinking how we can change our actions with our thoughts. So probably stress is, everybody's familiar with stress. It's just a uneasy feeling, and different people's feel this in different ways. So maybe some people feel stress in a more physical way. Maybe for other people it's more in a mental or emotional level. But the most important thing to remember, this stress is usually not without reason. Something has to happen for you to feel stress. And of course our body and our minds feels that it is threatened somehow, and we have to react to this. What happens? Our brains start to interpret some kind of information as something dangerous to yourself, to your body, and in return your body activates all kinds of hormones that makes your body physically react, and this happens that fast. It's not a huge process, it happens almost immediately. And the idea maybe is, like, maybe all of you know the first symptoms of stress, you know, dry mouth, shaking, sweating, raised heartbeats, yeah. But what is, as emotions, stress could be like feeling fear or anger or feeling down or just feeling helpless is a sign of feeling stress. Also, while in a cognitive manner, it's harder to make decisions. You feel somehow more depressed, and you start overthinking things. Because if you start thinking to yourself, what will happen if something else happens, that there's probably decent chance that you're suffering from stress. All of these emotions and feelings together give us the feeling that we feel like we have to run away. We want this to end. We want to feel normal. We don't want to live in stress. So we could react to this in an adaptive way, yeah, with smaller levels of stress, that we overcome these complications, but more often than not, we start reacting in a non-adaptive way. We start to just run away from these problems and not deal with them, and it doesn't help with dealing stress. It also raises the risk of people using drugs and alcohol just to mitigate the feelings of stress. And of course, for a short while, these substances help you deal with stress, but the next day when you wake up, the problems are still there and the stress comes back. So usually we divide stress into multiple levels. So right now, I want to show you a short way how you could divide stress into percentages. And it's an interesting mental exercise for you to think about yourself into percentage. For example, maybe right now I feel stress around 30%, or for me right now I feel stress around 60%. Yeah, but it's of a low level of stress. It's a normal amount of stress. Low level 1 to 40% is something you deal with every day, and it shouldn't be too difficult to get over these kinds of issues. But if these problems persist, if they keep repeating themselves, your stress levels might rise to a higher level, even to a toxic level, yeah, which is almost like outside the thermometer that I've had there. Yeah, it's so much stress at that point. Yeah, for example, 5 exams in a week. Yeah, the stress is at such high levels. The only thing I want to do is just to run away if the situation does not change. And here I want to tell you about this formula of stress. Yeah, how do we help ourselves to feel worse? Yeah, so the levels of stress rise with the level of possibility of things being worse. Yeah, so the worse you think things might be, and the more it is actually that they could be bad, they just multiply each other and you feel way worse than beforehand. And what happens to us? The on the lower part, the how much do I believe that I could get through? How many problems can I get through? Plus, what are actual outside factors that could help me deal with the stress? Yeah? But those are only pluses. They do not multiply. And so everything would get closer to actual reality. What happens during the adaptation process when we first encounter some kind of difficulties? First of all, I understand what's the worst that could happen, and then I think what is the most realistic outcome. And when we let ourselves to think about what's the worst outcome, we automatically give ourselves the option of dealing with the problem situation. So it's very nice to give yourself the questions in these situations, like, what helped me in other situations similar to this? What can I do to myself to make myself feel better? What can help me and who can help me? And we always ask from a psychological standpoint that you have to do a self-check. Is it really an actual problem situation where I'm somehow endangered? Yeah? Am I endangered physically or emotionally? Is my emotional well-being being endangered? Or maybe just my stability as a person? Yeah? You have to think about how long these problems have persisted. Have they repeated themselves? Has it happened more than once? Yeah. In the last years, you know it yourself, yeah, that we have many problem situations. So the median stress levels have risen the last 2 years. So then I have to think, do I need to seek help? Do I need to see professional help? And I have to ask myself, do these problems give me difficulties sleeping? Do these problems give me difficulty in my school life? And you have to think about this. So what to do? This is relevant to the lower part. What can help me? And here we're going to talk about the well-being. Yeah? And well-being theories are all kinds of different ones. Yeah? You probably have heard all kinds of different well-being theories, but right now I would ask you to look at the base things. So emotional well-being, social well-being, mental well-being, and physical well-being. So emotional well-being is is actually one of the most important things about emotional well-being is knowing yourself. How many emotions do you know that you feel? What can you say that you feel emotionally? What kind of emotions do you feel? Because you have to know these emotions, understand them, so you would know what you have to change. What is the problem? Is there even a problem? This would give you, this is very important. There are uh, techniques to improve your emotional well-being and improve your and improve your possibilities of dealing with these emotional well-being problems. In a social circle, social well-being, we have to think about the social circle that we live in. So the last 2 points, veslige vida and healthy environment and healthy environment and healthy relationships. It is very important. These two are very important because it's very important for us. If we want to feel well, we need people that help us feel better, and we need an environment where we don't have to be stressed each day just thinking about how am I going to get through today. We have to be more open, and we need to have a better way of understanding ourselves. So, and now the mental well-being, and this is my favorite part, about how to lessen the stigma of when and how you can ask for help. And the physical well-being, so Elvis already started talking about this beforehand. So we have to give ourselves the physical comfort, a specific goals that you give yourself. For example, your body needs to know when is it going to have time to sleep, to rest. When is your body going to have the time to eat, to get nutrients? And this already improves your well-being by your body knowing when it's going to get the things that it needs. As well as being sportive, being active in a sports sense, yeah, without just getting some kind of achievements in sports. No, but doing sports just for yourself, for your own well-being, is very important. Why do young people not ask assistance? So I I think that a lot of you will probably see themselves in while I talk about this. So one of the reasons why young people don't ask for help is because they just don't know. What do psychologists do? Yeah, how could they help us? Or the stigma that, no, I'm not a psycho. Yeah, just because you go to a psychologist doesn't mean that there are problems with you. You don't have to be in a huge crisis to ask for help. Even if you have a little problem, you could talk with a psychologist. Then other people say, oh, I have a friend, I could talk with him. Yes, but your friend isn't a psychologist, and a psychologist isn't your friend. So probably a lot of you have had a negative experience. Yeah, a lot of you have worked at school, have been at school, and you have probably seen some people reacting negatively to young people asking for help. So one of my, in quotations, favorite activities in school, yeah, or some kind of situations in school, is that if you're just unruly during the class, you're gonna go to the psychologist and talk with them, which is not right. That's not something you should perpetuate. You don't go to the psychologist because you've done something bad or you're bad. Yeah, you go to a psychologist to ask for help, to seek support. Yeah, they're not somebody that are going to change your behavior. They're just going to try and help you find solutions. So, and then of course, young people are afraid to go to psychologists, afraid of other young people bullying them for being weak. Then as well, the relationship with the specialist and the ones seeking help. So just so you would know, we have an ethical code. It is our, we as a psychologist, it's our one of our main, not goals, but main things is that we cannot talk about your problems with other people. If we want to talk to other specialists about your problems, we need to ask your confirmation that we can discuss your situation with others. So a lot of people going to the psychologist think that they're going to be somehow punished for, or we're going to tell you, oh no, you're bad. But no, it's not about that. It's about creating a real good cooperation between the specialist and the client. And then about other factors, I'm going to talk about less because there's all kinds of factors that we could be talking about, but a lot of the time is just lack of motivation, just like, oh, I can't go there, I don't have the time, and that's how it usually ends. And then there are groups that are more at risk groups of not getting enough help. Those are people that are uh, sick with COVID and have long-term COVID implications. And I have met people in the hospital after COVID that before COVID didn't have issues, but after COVID have very distinct issues. Then, of course, using all kinds of drugs, yeah. And if you're somehow addicted to drugs or alcohol, you'd feel like, oh no, there's no point in going to the psychologist. They're just going to tell me, oh, it's bad, it's bad. I know it's bad, but no, that's not what psychologists do. We give them the opportunity to decide to deal with problems in a different way, not by using drugs, but by making different choices. As well, another at-risk group would be LGBTQ plus people that maybe may see discrimination every day and don't feel that they will get the support from the psychologist. Another group would be people of survivors of violence, either emotional violence, sexual violence, or physical violence. Yeah, they don't trust people as much, so they have a harder time opening up to psychologists, and maybe they feel scared that to come forward and talk to people and tell them what has happened to them. But it is very important because then I can give them the tools that they need to get over or get through their pain. So now how could you deal with these problems? How? So for example, we have a problem, an exam tomorrow. Yeah? So first of all, I have to think about the potential ways to get through this problem. One of them would be, for example, just not going to the test, but maybe there's a more optimal way to deal with this. So maybe I can make a plan. How could I deal with this? So one of the things that you should do, if you're planning, is you should reward yourself. How often do you reward yourselves? How often do you reward yourselves, for example, for getting a good mark in school? How often do you really tell yourselves, good job, me, good job, I got a 9, 7, 10, or a 6, it doesn't matter, but very good that I achieved this. How often do you tell yourself this? Yeah? So after that, we just evaluate the how difficult this problem is, yeah, and that's one way to get through your problems. Another way is correct breathing. Yeah? Everybody knows how to breathe, but not how to breathe correctly. The idea is that through breathing, you can calm yourself. So you know that the brain tells you that you're feeling stressed or you're endangered somehow, and it sends the information to the body. So the same way we can, through our body, give our brain the information that then, hold on, it's fine, nobody's attacking us, we feel great. So you could deal with stress through breathing. Then uh, how to make social support more more attainable. So, for example, for me, breathing helps me get through stress, but maybe Anna, my friend, for her breathing does not help. She has to go run and exercise to get through stress. So, but it doesn't work for me. So, right now, what I can do, I can write down what things help me, what doesn't help me, yeah, what things I don't like when people talk to me, and so when I am having difficulties, I have a list of things that I can do to help myself, and also I have a list of people that can help myself. So what I do is make a list with the people that I can go to and to seek help. So 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 practice of mindfulness, techniques of mindfulness. There are many books about this. It's very nice and beautiful, but the idea is that we learn to think about ourselves and the issues that we have without being mean to ourselves, without asking, oh, what did I do? How did I do it wrong? No, we love to criticize ourselves. But when's the last time, okay, I did this? When you think, oh, I did this. Did something bad happen? No. But right now, this is the moment when you should think and try to think about the things that you've achieved. So, the last concept, the last point is self-compassion. Yeah? And don't think this is a bad thing. Self-compassion is very important. It's important. It's okay that I'm sometimes angry at the teacher who gave me a bad mark, yeah? Or if I'm angry at not having the time to prepare for an exam, yeah? And sorry exams, but sorry teachers, but maybe you are sometimes angry at your students, but it's okay. It's okay to be angry sometimes, yeah? You don't have to be, you just don't criticize yourself, yeah? Learn self-compassion. Realize that feeling emotions, negative ones at that, is normal. And in conclusion, work please, thank you, yes. In conclusion, so we learn how to self-regulate. We give ourselves and our body comfort by giving ourselves a plan, a workday plan, by doing physical exercises and having the right people around. So it's so what to do? Well, while you are in stress, you won't learn how to breathe properly. So when you are calm, for example, today while you're listening to this conference, try the breathing techniques. Yeah, try breathing properly. So when you will have the stress, you'll have the opportunity to use the knowledge that you've had. Yeah. So, oh yes, good job. I can hear you all breathing. Okay, maybe let's do it a bit more calmly. Let's do it together. Wait, Elvis, sorry, I have to do this. I have to react to my to the audience. So here. Wait, not yet. Not yet. Look at the square. So it's gonna hold and then we're gonna start. So inhale. Hold your breath. Hold it. Exhale. Good job. Again, hold, hold. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale. Good job. Great. You've earned yourself a round of applause. Great job. Great job. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Marina. I think that improvising is one of the greatest things that can happen on stage. So thank again, Marina, and great applause.